In certain extreme situations, the law is inadequate. In order to shame its inadequacy, it is necessary to act outside the law, to pursue natural justice. This is not vengeance. Revenge is not a valid motive, it's an emotional response. No, not vengeance. Punishment.
Tonight we have a chance to say, yeah, you're right. We're too extreme, we're too wild, we're too out of control, we're too full of our own shit. Or we have a chance to say, hey, fuck you, you're wrong. Fuck you, we're right. Because you have all made it to the dance. Because believe me, this is the dance. Start the show.
Everybody, welcome to the program. It's the Steel Toe Morning Show. I am Aaron Imholt, and depending on who you are waking up one of three ways. You are waking up thinking I'm Adolf Hitler, who just got away with taking the Sudetenland. You think that it's another win for the toe, or the third option, you're a normal person and you barely know what the fuck is going on. That would be, I think, the third and most mentally normal option that you could probably be a part of. If you're part of the either two groups, look, we're all on a journey, right? We're all trying to improve ourselves. And I hope the best for you. Look, if you're not a member, you didn't get the update, you have a normal life. Chips and Diff says, number 4, I don't give a rat's ass. Yeah, that could be it too. You don't give a rat's ass. But yeah, I had court yesterday. People like people who, and I really found like how bad my psychological hooks are in so many people. I mean, you talk about broken. I mean, broken. I mean, you're not supposed to let the person who like owns your mind know you own their mind, but they don't really care. Everything that happened yesterday was what I told you would happen yesterday. I mean, people, they acted like there was this big surprise, like there was this big shocking moment. I said, misdemeanor, $50 fine. That's what was decided yesterday. That's what we agreed to. Now they'll have an observation period to make sure I'm not going to, clock anybody or steal any babies or shit like that, and make sure they got to go through this period. A lot of people, when they cop a plea deal, they then try to go out publicly and go, I didn't do anything wrong. So they got to go through this pre-sentencing thing where they have they got to make sure you're not a violent person or anything like that. They got to make sure you're not taking the plea and then claiming to be innocent. You got to go through that whole process, because if you do go through that process and they find out this person's a disingenuous piece of shit, they can tear the whole thing up. So I got to go through this process where they ask me, hey, did you do this? Did you do it? And I'll be like, yeah, I did it. That's why I said I did it. And they're like, okay, we're just checking. We're just making sure. Because if they start, looking into it, they call it a pre-sentencing hearing and domestic violence check. They got to make sure I'm not a big, violent, scary guy. And then they got to ask me, hey, between you, me, and a fence post. I don't understand what kind of idiot they get in these screenings. I guess when you deal with career criminals, I suppose, you get some dummies, but I don't know what kind of dipshit you would have to be for like the probation investigator people to go, hey, between you, me, and a fence post, and hey, I'm your buddy here. You really do it? And then the other person goes, no, I was just fucking with those idiots. Ah, got them. Yeah, gabagoo. I don't know what kind of like retard you would have to grab for that. So here's the deal. Pled guilty to a misdemeanor yesterday. The felony gone, dismissed. And you know, when the whole texting Gino and Image thing came about, when they brought this whole thing, I was like, well, I did a dumb because by the time they brought it up, by the time it was a thing, it was like I was so like past it and like not in the same place that I was then. I was like, oh yeah, well shit. I was like, the felony's ridiculous. Like the felony's silly. The felony's dumb. Obviously the felony's not any part of this. So when my attorney and I got together from the very beginning, we said, let's just get rid of this felony. Let's get this felony dismissed, and that's what we're good with. We'll take the misdemeanor, dismiss the felony. Good. They didn't want to do that at first. They kind of were like, they played this game where it was like, well, plead to the felony, and then after the thing, it'll drop to him. And we're like, no, that's not good enough. And then, Gino, I think the final nail in the coffin for the felony was Gino and Keanu weren't served. Gino and Keanu weren't coming. They were not cooperative. So the prosecution came to us a couple of weeks ago and they said, look, let's put a bow on this thing. Let's not drag this out any longer. Nobody wants to. Basically, they came to us. Nobody wants to drag this out any longer. We were still of the mind. We were like, well, maybe we do want to drag this out a little longer. Maybe we do want to go the whole way. I mean, we know what it's kind of like that line in Rounders. We know what we're holding and we know what you're holding. Maybe we want to go the whole way. And they said, all right, felony is a thing of the past. Forget the felony. Misdemeanor, $50 fine. The terms of your release will extend for a year or two. If probation says you're a good boy after a couple of meetings, they'll cut you loose. And I said, that sounds kind of nice. No, I mean, they made, they made him an offer he couldn't refuse. I mean, the motivation with no Gino and no Keanu was like, let's fucking roll. Let's go. And they said, how about, and then they just came to us and they said, how about this? And, my attorney even said, he goes, this is everything we wanted and more. Like, this is everything we wanted when this whole thing started. So, I asked him yesterday, I go, what do you think? And his opinion was, Aaron, it's $50. And I said, okay. And he also said, did you do it? And I said, yeah, I sent the text message. And that's the other thing. I took one day I was streaming. I was talking to Stevie Lou is now part of this lore. I was talking to Stevie Lou on the phone during an evening show in, God, it was sometime between late December and early February. And I'm talking to Stevie Lou, and I wheel around, and I take a picture. And then in May, I sent that picture to Gino Bisconti. And I sent it to Gino Bisconti because I was a fucking dumb guy in a shitty place. And, when I said, hey, your boy didn't do too bad, did he? That was a fuckboy thing to do. That was a guy who was looking for a little validation from a friend. And I cannot urge you against something like that more. One thing I did learn in the whole journey afterwards was like, hey, maybe internalize some of that shit. Think about it. Let it stew. Talk to a professional about it. And then you'll work through the process internally with a professional and you'll be fine. And then I saw some people, they were combing through the plea agreement. They're like, no. They were like Jesse Pinkman. They were like, he can't keep getting away with it. And I kept telling these people, like, I didn't get away with anything. I pled guilty to the thing I did. I took responsibility for the thing I did. It's not a nice thing to do. Don't do that to people. It hurts people. It makes them feel bad. And it's a mean, shitty, dickhead thing to do. Don't do what I did. It's so bad. It's so fuckboy. It's so shitty. It's so immature. Don't do what I did. And, there's people online who they hate my guts and they think this is some sort of win. Let me go on the record right now. I in no way see this as any kind of win. You know what I see this as? I did a shitty thing and I took responsibility and I ended it in a way that is comfortable for me, that I'm okay with. I'm okay with how this ended. I did a bad thing. I'll be very honest with you, going through this, now that it's wrapping up, now that it's about over, in a weird way, it restored a little bit of faith I have in our system. Because as I look back on the whole thing, it was a bitch. It took 8 months to get the deal we were looking for. But it was fair, and nobody ever treated me poorly. Nobody ever treated me like I gotta fucking get this guy. We're going to Can I say something about the prosecutor, Miss Kendall? She believed in this. She really did. She believed in this. This was not a fuck him. I'm going to get this guy. He's a piece of shit. Yeah, she might think I'm a piece of shit. That's fine personally. But professionally, she was all about, here's what I think the law says. Here's what I think we should do. Boom, boom, boom. And then when we decided, well, then let's go. Let's wrestle then. Let's go the whole way. They were like, let's do this. And I do believe this was something that everybody could walk away from going, admitted to a crime, taken the punishment, and now they're not going to drag this out any further, and we can put this to bed. During the whole process, I never felt like the whole innocent until proven guilty, I feel like I was treated that way. I feel like I was treated innocent until proven guilty. And they were also very respectful, and they were very mindful of the fact that there is a group of headhunters out there who are out to get me. And when they would get, people just sending them stuff all the time, they would be like, they said to us at one point, look, I know this is all bullshit. And we're like, thank you. I appreciate that. So, it always felt like they were being very fair. And I appreciate that. All right, guys, we got Rumble Link Friday. So, I'll take your guys' questions today, but we got Rumble Link Friday. We got links already coming in. I got to get to those. We got Veldrain. We got Helgi. We got other people. TJ, I'm looking forward to the Piggy Show today, too. I mean, I don't watch it, but I hear those guys have some great copes on there, and they're not doing so well with this. And again, if I could make those guys feel any better, stop being so upset like it didn't happen to you. This whole thing can be whatever you make it. You can make it, you know what you can say? Say like, oh, Aaron's in a puddle. Aaron's depressed about this. He's barely hanging on. You guys tell yourselves shit anyway to make yourselves feel better. Do that. Like Melton's got sores all over his face yesterday. He's crying about, Nick said he'd get the felonies. I thought there would be jail time. Blah, 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 blah. It's like, yeah, but I told you there wouldn't be. And I was right. I told you the truth. I was your best friend in this whole thing. You listened to me, you would have gotten the straight dish. But you've decided to make me fucking Adolf Hitler over here, so you couldn't believe a word I said. And then when it turned out to be exactly what I told you it would be, now you're mad. So I'm looking forward to that show, too, because they have creative ways of trying to spin reality into whatever they need it to be. And I encourage them to do that because that's something they need. So good for them. I'm excited for it, too. And thank you for the $20, TJ. I appreciate that. So YouTube, come on over to Rumble. Let's have some fun. I love Husey. I hope Husey comes over to Rumble. I really do. I really hope Husey comes over and joins us today. He asked, you know what? He DM'd me a boxing question the other day, and I didn't answer him. I feel like a dick. What was it about? Chisora versus somebody. Chisora versus White? Dillian White? Just a couple of washed up guys who need one more payday. Good for them. I like it when boxers get paid. Husey with $5 says another L for Rekieta. Also, Bret Hart is overrated. You know, if Nick treats this like an L, how do I say this? If Nick treats this like an L, you guys will know where the motivation to bring this up came from. I mean, I did a bad thing. I'm happy with how it ended. I'm glad it's ending, and I'm glad I got to take responsibility. But if you're mad about this, hey, you know what? Let me encourage you. If you're mad about this, it didn't happen to you. You wake up, you didn't plead guilty to anything yesterday. That's a win for you. That's a W. So, again, if it's triggering the shit out of you that some of my fans and pro steel toe people are saying this is a win for the toe, fucking chill out. It doesn't affect you. You'll be okay. The people who think I'm the most evil guy in the world, I'm having to talk them down from a crisis after I pled guilty to a crime. It's bananas to me. But guys, it didn't happen to you. You're going to be okay. You guys have made me into the Pol Pot of your generation already. Just keep thinking I'm that. You'll be fine. We're going to go over to Rumble. The link is in the chat here on YouTube. Join us or don't. We'll talk to you in a little bit. And gone. There we go. Yeah, they